Care to share your race, ethnicity, or nationality?
I'm Nigerian. My tribe, I'm Igbo. So even nobody know where that. Western part of Africa.
And are both of your parents in that tribe or from that tribe?
Yes, sir. Both parents Igbo. Yep.
And what is the main language you speak at this point?
The main language I speak at this point is English and Pidgin language. I don't speak fluently, but I do understand Igbo, but I don't speak fluent. I Pidgin talk. So uh, during the interview, I might go in and out with my phases and stuff.
Now, that amount that you do know in Igbo, how did you learn that?
My parents basically they shouting it at me. They instead of saying the actual word for like water, they'll just say mini. Then I know what they talk referring to. So yeah, that's how I kind of adapted. And most of the times, intense conversations, I kind of know what they talking about. Is when it comes to intense conversations, I'm like, okay, I have a a suggestion what they talking about. So yeah.
Now, are they speaking it fluently themselves when they speak to you, or is it a mix of both, some English and some of that language as well to you?
I
Like
know.
in a heated conversation, that example you just presented, are they speaking it fluently to one another, to you, and you're picking that up, or is it broken, like
Oh,
some of this, some of that?
well, sometimes I can when they speaking to other individuals smoking back and forth, I could understand it. If my mother was speaking to me, sometimes she would just speak it fluently. I can understand the trajectory of what she's talking about. Then, or she use some pigeon talk. She throw some English and mix it with Igbo. So.
Now, the amount that you do know, have you incorporated any of those phrases with your music at all?
I had one African record that I had that kind of blew up last year called "Lost My Demons." So I kind of incorporated my culture, my voice, and how I talk in it. So
And that song is publicly available as well currently.
yeah, all platforms, all platforms. "Lost My Demons," one of my biggest records right now. So "Lost My Demons."
Now, aside from those languages that you do know, be that as it may, have you took a foreign language class in school perhaps?
Yeah, I did.
And care to share what? What grades? How many grades? Things
Um,
of that nature.
I took Japanese for 3 years, I believe. Yes, 3 years. I took Japanese for 3 years straight. I know some Japanese now, but back then I felt like I was speaking Japanese fluently because I had the class every day. So
And was this middle school for you? Was this high school for you?
this was just high school, just high school. Yep.
And was that a requirement or an elective back then for you?
Good question. I think you was required to take one language class. So I think that was just the language class I took. Um, I don't think it was a specific reason why I took it. I just took that class thinking because I do watch a little anime, so I was just trying to see if I could match what they was talking about to my classes. So
Now, did you take that class serious? Did you try to learn the language? Did you try to give it an honest shot back then?
I did. I did take it serious to a certain point. Then when you go into your senior year, you don't really care less about language classes. But I did take it serious. I did take it serious. I was actually like doing all the tests and answering questions, and I was fascinated. I'm usually fascinated with a lot of information and knowledge. So
But at the very end, any regret with that, not taking it as serious as you once did?
um, I, no, not at all. Because I feel like one day I might end up going to Japan, and I will be able to say certain things fluently, like what my name is. Like I'd be like Watashi wa Davido. Certain simple things like that. So you know, you know.
Now, zooming out, how far did you end up getting with your education?
Uh, only high school. Only got my high school diploma. Yeah.
And why did you stop furthering your education at that point of time in your life? Because there are some that go past that.
Um, at that time, I had a choice. I had a choice of going to school and taking up a loan and being debt, or working, then working, save for the money, then jump back into school when I'm ready. So I took the choice to actually start working and get in the workforce and actually working. So I just didn't really have a good experience because my father, he did go to college at an older age, and because he didn't have the requirements for certain jobs that he needed, because he had the requirements and certificates and qualifications when he was back in Nigeria, because he was a teacher, a professor. But here they didn't accept those same qualifications certificates that he had, so he had to redo it. It's like he has to redo, get his diploma for accounting, English, and things like that. So once that happened, he didn't kind of get a job for a while, and it was kind of like, it kind of put a big toll on my father, because he went to school thinking he was going to get a job. So that kind of like put a bad taste in my mouth. So I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to go another route. But when I'm ready to jump into school, I know the courses and lessons I would want to go into. So that will further my career. So
Now, be that as it may, any regret on that decision making way back when?
no, not at all. Because if I didn't make the decision, I wouldn't really be where I'm at right now. And I've been doing great. So I just love my life and how I've been go. So it's just a journey for me.
Anything else you want to mention about your education, or a question you weren't asked? People want to know just about that.
Education is way more important. I'm not saying not to go to college. Go to college. Enjoy the experience. Make sure you take your degree serious. If it's something that you want to do, go all the way with it. Certain colleges, universities, not, you might not be ready for it, but there's other programs like trade school. You got the armed forces, so things like that. You don't have to always dwell on one thing. There's always many different paths and avenues that you could take in life.
Now, true or false in regards to Nigeria? You're a Nigerian prince.
Yeah, true.
Can you shed some light on that?
Um, just basically where I'm from, we value children, we value family. So where the location I'm from in my village, I am basically a prince. Because I come from a broad family, and since I'm the firstborn of my father, because he came from a family of 11 kids. So I have a lot of siblings, but since you're the firstborn, you kind of look as a prince. So you just, like I said, there's a lot of burden on you. If your father or family members had debt in the village, now it's your debt that you have to deal with. A lot of concerns you have to deal with, a lot of responsibilities that you have to do when you come back to Nigeria. A lot of demands or requests, so you just have to get it done as the firstborn. So.
Now, do you still hold that title today?
Yeah, I still hold that title. I'm still hold that title. If I pull up to Nigeria right now, everybody coming back home. So everybody coming back to the village. So they waiting for me to come back. So it should be soon. It should be this year. I hope so, by God's grace. But yeah, it should be a journey. That's why I can't just go in and out Nigeria like I can. Because just the politics and the social economics going around there, you just want to be careful how we moving. So just want to go in a safer time.
And does it get any more specific, like what the name of the village is, or things of that nature?
Everyone, I don't want to tell you the actual village, but it's an Mbise. That's in Imo State. So if you search for my village is in Mbise, Imo State. Yeah.
True or false? You have a Nigerian net worth of 50 million.
Yeah, the Naira keep going up, so my network is about up there. But yeah, I hope nobody sees anyone trying to ask me for no money. But at the end of the day, yeah, that's I'm not capping. That's my Nigerian net worth. So if you do the math, you understand, it makes sense. So
Now, zooming out and taking it all the way back, For those in the audience, getting to know you for the very first time, care to share where you were born?
Oh, I was born in Nigeria, Jos, Nigeria.
And care to share where you were raised as well?
Um, I was born in Jos, Nigeria. I was actually raised in PG County, Maryland. So my whole years, I was like my toddler years to kindergarten. I was raised in Landover, Cheverly. Then after that, I grew up in Bowie, Maryland. So a lot of people know me from Bowie more than Cheverly and Landover when I used to live there. So
Now, just for historical purposes here, care to share the exact ages of those moves in your life?
um, yeah, actually,
And if you don't know the ages, then maybe the grade you were in, perhaps, at the time?
yeah, most definitely. When I was two, I came to America when I was 2 years old. Then Bladensburg, Cheverly, Landover, I was there till I was basically a fifth grader. Then my sixth grade years till high school, I was in Bowie for the rest of my teenage years. So
And do you still reside in that area today?
nah, I don't reside in that area. I kind of did a couple years ago. I stayed in Laurel, Maryland. That's kind of close to Bowie, but nah, I don't reside in that area no more.
What age were you when you officially left Bowie?
Uh, which age was I? Um, I think about like 19, 20, because I left my parents' house at like 19 because I was just on some young dumb shit. So went off, storm off, doing my thing. Then yeah, I just stayed away from Bowie after that. So
And care to share where you reside these days?
uh, in the Maryland capital, by the waters, Annapolis. So I stay in Annapolis.
Also, wanted to rewind back to something you said earlier. Asked you where you were born, where you were raised, things of that nature. But what was the exact reasoning of Maryland, of all places, coming from Nigeria to America? Because there's 50 states in
Mm.
America. You could have been to any other city or any other state. Why that particular area of Maryland? Why Maryland? Things of that nature. What was the reasoning behind that?
I guess we have more family members here. So we have family that was here before us. So we just felt like it was a safer state to. I believe my family chose the decision that it was a safer state to be in because we was more around family and they knew about the area more and how to get certain benefits, certain jobs. So it was just a security thing with family. So I think that's why we chose Maryland. I know we had family in Florida before we moved here, so but Maryland was the best choice.